My dear friends, we all love children. Childhood should be filled with laughter, joy, dreams and education, isn't it? But the truth is that millions of children are deprived of their basic rights to play and to learn. Today, 12th June, we celebrate World Anti-Child Labour Day. On this day, we stand together to raise awareness and to take action against the exploitation of children. The slogan for the Anti-Child Labour Day 2023 is Social Justice for All, End Child Labour.
Child labourers are children up to 14 years of age who are forced to work. Their work deprives them of their childhood, interferes with their attendance in regular schools, and such work becomes mentally, physically, socially, or morally harmful for them. This violation of their rights robs them of the opportunity to develop their full potential. As per the International Labour Organization and as per the laws of every nation, employing children up to the age of 14 years is a crime. It is estimated that today 160 million, that is 16 crore children, are working as child labourers all over the world. Poverty is the fundamental reason for child labour. African continent has the highest number of child labour, which is around 72 million. Asia and the Pacific region ranks second with 62 million child labourers. In India, as per Census 2011, 10.1 million children, that is 1.01 crore children, between the age of 5 and 14 are working as child labourers, which means 3.9% of the child population is engaged in child labour in India. Among these, 5.6 million are boys and 4.5 million are girls. Girls are working in their own houses, helping their mothers with household chores of cleaning, cooking and taking care of their siblings. In India, the highest number of child labourers are found in Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. Children are working in brick kilns, garment making, domestic service, agriculture, fisheries, mining, matchstick and fireworks industry. Many children work long hours in the wayside tea stalls and restaurants. Fortunately, there are individuals and organizations tirelessly working to combat child labor and provide these children with a chance for a better future. On this World Anti-Child Labor Day, we celebrate their efforts and urge everyone to join the fight against child labor. Late Father Dilraj IMS was a great visionary who established Asmita to eradicate child labor, a center which rescues child laborers, rehabilitates them and educates them. Please meet Father Maju Matthew IMS, the present director of Asmita.
Child labor destroys the future of a child. Keeping this in mind, Asmita organization for the last 25 years working among unorganized migrant sector, especially those people who are migrants coming from elsewhere and staying in Banaras. Most of these people would finally land up on the streets or in the slums. We are working among the women, the children from among these slums. We find over the years that these people who are involved in rag picking, who are involved in begging, who are involved in cleaning of the roads, sewages, their children too accompany the parents, and somehow they over the time get involved fully into this kind of activities and they are not entering into education. So for the past many years we are trying to educate these children. So what do? We go to the slums, stop these children from going along with or accompanying the parents. We try to educate the children from morning 8:30 to 1:30 in the afternoon. We teach them the most basic, and at the end of the year we try to enroll these children in education. As of today, 263 children are studying at various non-formal centers of Asmita. If not our classes, these children would have been along with the parents on the streets begging or rag picking or involved in any other child labor activities. Just give 50 rupees to a child and he would be ready to come and clean your toilets. And that's what happening around. And we try to stop these children from entering into such kind of activities. Through another program of ours which is Childline, we along with the department, especially the Labour Department, Mahila Kalyan Department, DCPU, Childline, UNICEF, we conduct awareness sections and programs in and around the city, especially with the shopkeepers, schools, slums. We try to rescue children and rehabilitate them. In the past few months, we have rescued more than 40 children and conducted more than 100 rescue operations. And what we do? We identify the case, rescue them, issue challan and fine to those persons who are engaging children into child labor. And then on the other hand, we enroll these children into government programs such as Balsaran Vidyadhan Yojana of the government. So through this government program, we ensure that these children are enrolled properly in the school and their education is met and they go ahead with their studies, and we do regular follow up. We have been conducting survey programs and we have identified number of children and enrolled them into government programs. Let's say no to child labor. Let's secure the future of children.
DARE is another organization which is involved in rescuing child laborers from the trains, railway tracks and slums around railway stations. Today, Father Lijo looks after these services and also takes care of the rescued girl children in their home.
Our organization DARE is committed to eradicating child labor by advocating for legislation, promoting education and empowering communities. By addressing the root cause of child labor and creating sustainable solutions, we can ensure that every child has the opportunity to receive education and live a dignified life. We have managed to rescue children working in the trains, railway platforms as beggars, boot polishers, etc., and brought to our center by the order of the Child Welfare Committee. In our DARE Children's Home, through collective action, we have seen the transformative power of providing children with education, protection and support.
Varanasi is well known for its silk saris. Sari weaving is a special art which has been carried on from generation to generation by weaver families of Varanasi. Sari weaving families engage their children from their own families. Legally, this may be considered a crime, but if children stop weaving, the family will have to face starvation. How to solve this problem? Nandlal Master of Rajatalab is a renowned social activist who has been instrumental in eradicating child labor, not by stopping them to work, but in another unique manner.
My village is renowned for weaving. Most of the people in the village are engaged in weaving of Banarasi sari. When I started working, so many children of my village were working as child laborers in weaving sector. They were either working in their own homes as weavers or they were working as bonded laborers weaving for money lenders and rich business people. In my childhood, for better education facilities, my eldest sister took me to her home in Benipur village, far away from my village. Many years later, in 1994, when I was doing my BSc Agriculture in Uday Pratap College in Varanasi, I came home for summer holidays. I noticed that most of the children were spending all their time in weaving. There was no school in the village. I started teaching 4 or 5 children in the evenings to write their names and to read. Within a month, the number increased to 40 children. Therefore, I decided not to return to Varanasi, but to educate these children. Children from neighboring villages started coming to study in the evenings in my village. One young man said, "I too shall teach children in my village like you." Some other youth too volunteered. I visited the neighboring villages and supported the volunteer youths in teaching. Thus, within a year, this was the talk of the town all around, and whichever village had weaving, we opened non-formal education centers there, such as my village Nagepur, neighborhood villages Benipur, Takupur, Maheshpati, Harsos, Jamuni Shabad and Mehendiganj. Children who were involved only in weaving and who had never been to school started attending classes regularly, and they showed keen interest in studying in the evenings. Parents started asking me, "Why don't you open up a permanent formal school?" My mother had a little piece of land. On my request, she gave me that land. Thus, in the year 2000, we constructed a permanent school. At present, more than 250 children from weaving families study in that school. Through this process of education, we have contributed in eliminating the major social evil of child labor in all these villages. Some 20 years ago, few children went from these villages to school. Today, almost every child is attending school, and there is no more child labor in these villages. We noticed that girls were not attending our evening classes. They had too much work at home, and it was not possible for the girls to attend evening classes. Therefore, in 1996, we opened up non-formal education center for girls along with vocational training program. Presently, we are conducting vocational training program for teenage girls in 20 villages, and more than 500 girls are benefiting from these centers. All those girls who do not attend school, we enroll them in the schools, and the dropout girls too are re-enrolled into the schools. Those girls who are educated but are unemployed, we provide them facilities for tailoring and embroidery. You can see that our village Nagepur and the neighboring villages, which 20 years had all the children engaged in child labor, they are free from this, and almost 100% children are attending school. Thus, child labor is totally eliminated from these villages.
उसको हम लोगों ने खत्म करने में एक बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभाई है.
Child labor is a crime. Parents and children should together carry on various household chores. They should assure that children get enough space and time for games and study. Let us ensure that every child's hands are meant for learning, playing and building a better tomorrow. On this World Anti-Child Labor Day, let us unite our voices and take action. Together, we can create a world where every child is free from the shackles of child labor. Support organizations that are working to eradicate child labor. Raise awareness in your communities and demand that governments prioritize the rights and well-being of children everywhere. Join us in the fight against child labor.